Greetings, I'm Dev the Developer. This lesson is about string members. Strings in C# come with built-in tools called properties and methods, and you will use them constantly. We'll cover the ones you need most and even include split, which gives us a taste of some more advanced concepts. Before we get into methods, there's one thing you need to understand first. Strings in C# are immutable. That means once a string is created, it cannot be changed. None of the methods we are about to look at modify the original string. They all return a brand new string with the change applied. So if you call ToUpper on a string and you want to keep the result, you have to store it. That trips people up. The original is still there exactly as it was. The method just gives you something new and you have to catch it. The first we'll talk about is called length. It tells you how many characters are in a string. Length is a property, not a method, so don't use parentheses. You access it just like a variable. Now, 9 characters, not 8. The space in the middle counts as a character. That's worth remembering. Length counts every character, including spaces, tabs, anything in there. The distinction between property and method will make more sense when we get to classes later in this course. For now, just know no parentheses on length, parentheses on everything else we'll look at today. ToUpper and ToLower do what you might expect. ToUpper returns a version of the string with all letters uppercase. ToLower does the opposite. The practical use here is case-insensitive comparison. If a user types exit in all uppercase characters and you're comparing against the string exit lowercase, that comparison fails. They are different strings as far as C# is concerned. The fix is to put them both in the same case before you compare. Convert both sides to lowercase, then compare. The casing the user typed doesn't matter anymore. Next up, the contains method takes a substring and returns true if the text appears anywhere inside that string and false if it doesn't. It returns a bool so you can use it directly in an if statement. You don't have to capture it first. Trim removes white space from both ends of a string. The beginning and the end, but not the middle. White space sneaks in from user input all the time, especially when someone hits the spacebar before they start typing. It's very common to trim and to lower user input before you do anything with it. Wrapping it in quotes before the output makes the trimming more visible. Without that, you just see hello and you have no way to tell whether the spaces were there or not. Replace takes 2 arguments: the text you want to swap out and the text you want to replace it with. Every occurrence of the first gets replaced with the second. 2 things to notice. First, replace is case sensitive. So cats and cats with a capital C are different. We called it twice to catch both. Second, notice how we chain the 2 calls together. The first replace returns a string, and then we call replace again on that result. You can chain method calls like that whenever each one returns the same type. Split is one of the more practical methods in this whole set. It cuts a string apart at every occurrence of a delimiter and returns the pieces as an array. An array is an unordered collection of values. We'll go deeper on arrays later, but it's worth introducing split right now. So here's what you need to know to use it. The input string 4 plus 3 with spaces between each one gets cut into 3 pieces wherever there's a space. The pieces are stored in an array called parts, and you can access each piece by its index in square brackets, starting at 0. Index 0 is the first piece, the 4. Index 1 is the second, the plus. And index 2 is the third, the 3. That's a lot of information in a few lines, and arrays will get a full lesson of their own. For now, just focus on the pattern. Input comes in as a single string, you split it, you get the pieces by index. Here's how the pattern shows up when you're parsing user inputs. Split gives you strings. Parse converts the number strings into actual numbers. The operator stays as a string because you can use it in a switch to decide what math to do. That's the whole parsing step for a simple expression evaluator. The delimiter doesn't have to be a space. You can split on any character. Common separated values work exactly the same way. Whatever character separates your pieces, that's your delimiter. String methods come up constantly in real code. Anytime you're dealing with user input, files, or data that arrives as text, you will be reaching for these. Split is a very powerful one that helps you take a string, break it apart, and work with it in pieces. You'll find the use for it faster than you'd expect as long as you don't just watch it, do it.